Cool. I got a friend wanted the Twitch link to watch too.
Oh
So
yeah, sure. I can give you my Twitch link if you need it.
yeah, it is. Yeah.
Link us up.
Okay.
Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 7 of Curse of Strahd. Last week, I believe our party of adventurers headed out from the Vistani camp after Madame Eva had given them a card reading. She detailed some of their past deeds to them to make sure that you knew she meant business, and then she gave you some information on perhaps some things you might be able to find in the lands of Barovia that could possibly help you against your fight with Strahd if you were so to encounter him again. You left the Vistani and made your way kind of west along the road. Your primary goal, getting Irina to the town of Vallaki, where her brother Ismark would like to bring her because he thinks that she will be much safer there instead of living in the shadows of Strahd's tower back in the town of Barovia. On the way along the roads, you came across an old, decrepit-looking windmill, kind of off. This path kind of split off into a T section, and something familiar about what Madame Eva said in one of your fortune cards that had been pulled kind of sounded familiar of this what this structure looked like. So I don't know if you guys can see the old bone grinder here, but that's kind of where we left off last week at you guys kind of meandering down the road towards the old bone grinder, and the last thing that you saw was kind of a haggard, decrepit old woman rolling her pushcart up to the windmill, a woman who you had seen before in the streets of Barovia selling pastries to its inhabitants. Which Nuru had bought a few, and he learned that they were very delicious. So that's where you guys are, kind of approaching the old bone grinder. If I can get my shit together and get the right information up.
Also, a recap on that. We also saw a bag that was suspiciously put over her back that apparently was moving
Yes.
in some way, and that is what made us suspicious and want to move
Yeah,
forward.
she from underneath her cart, she dragged out a kind of a brown burlap sack that seemed to be writhing. Something inside of it seemed to be writhing, and she dragged it into the front door of the sagging bone grinder or windmill.
We also all found it suspicious that there's an old lady in the middle of the woods where there's definitely wolves and such.
Yeah, for sure.
And somehow she survived.
So
yeah.
you guys are kind of now approaching this onion-domed edifice that leans forward and to one side, and it's almost like it's trying to turn away from the stormy gray sky above. You see these gray brick walls and dirt-covered windows on the upper floors. There's a decrepit wooden platform that encircles the windmill above a flimsy doorway leading to the interior of the building, and you can still kind of see there perched on a wooden beam above the door is a raven kind of hopping agitatedly up and down, squawking, caw caw, and seems a little agitated as you guys are getting closer to the windmill. As you guys are walking down the road, though, you can kind of hear off into the distance. There's kind of a flash. Actually, I'll change the music real quick here before I gotta. There's kind of a flash of light and then a bit of rolling thunder off in the distance towards Vallaki. Kind of behind the windmill, you can see there's a big precipice that overlooks the valley behind, and you can see the tops of the tall pine trees in the valley, and then Vallaki beyond that. You can kind of see the smokes coming out of people's chimneys and things. It does seem, even from this distance, to be at least more lively of a place than Barovia was. But then coming down the pathway back up behind you, starts very faintly and softly at first, but then it picks up, and it's quite clear that coming in very quickly on the road is a horse moving at a pretty breakneck speed. It's galloping in the direction of probably Barovia, and then you can see it burst forth through the tree line and just kind of pass by the T section where you guys are wandering down. Rimpak, you kind of, out of the corner of your eye, see these three travelers on the road making their way down towards this leaning structure. What do you do?
I'm gonna. How close when I see them? Like, I'm gonna ride towards them.
Sure,
As
they're.
soon as I see
You
them.
drag on the reins. The horse that the Mardikovs gave you is kind of a chestnut little gelding. Definitely a swift beast, and it does seem like it's well taken care of. Its name is Lilac.
Okay.
And you draw on Lilac's reins, and you look down, and they're probably about 30 or 40 feet down the road towards the windmill, and then you guys have another maybe 30 or 40 feet between you and the windmill.
As I ride up, I'm gonna hold a hand up, and I'm gonna shout as I'm approaching. Hail! Hail!
Also, there's
Hail!
5 of us.
Oh, there's 5 of you. Oh, okay.
Yeah, actually, you spot. Actually, why don't we go through that? So you guys see this man on horseback riding towards you. Rimpak, what does your character look like?
I am wearing plate armor. It is quite shiny and nice, special in some way. I have a steel helmet on. I have on my side a mace. On my back, I have a shield. On my chest, I have a symbol of Tyr. It's quite large. You'd recognize it from a mile away if you have any recognition of the scales of Tyr. I am about 35 years old, human. You see that I have a beard sticking out of the bottom of my helmet. It is, probably about 3-4 inches long. Fair complexion. I look like a typical denizen of the Sword Coast.
And hopefully this is the last time we ever have to do one of these character description things, unless somebody dies, of course. But, for posterity's sake, we'll do everybody. So as this man on horse approaches, Veen, what does he see?
Veen is fairly tall, like 6'2", like stocky build, human, dark hair, dark eyes, like very typical of Barovia. Like he is Barovia native. He's just a big solid guy, and he's got a very large glaive, which he would have drawn at this point.
And how about nice snow?
So you see what amounts to a very beautiful but completely pale woman that has like silver blonde hair, as in like completely gray but shiny. And as she looks at you, her irises are also silver. But she has just a deadpan expression on her face as you approach.
And Nuru.
Nuru's a fucking cat.
On all fours, crouched, wiggling the back.
I guess that's
Cocking a hairball.
that's all that needs to be said, I guess. Yeah, that's all that needs to be said.
So Nuru's about 5'10", very slender build. He's 26, but it's probably pretty hard to judge how old a cat person is. I don't. Do you know what a Cleric was?
No, I don't think so.
Well, it looks like his token. He's a tan. Yeah, his fur is mainly tan with some black. He has black tufted ears, green eyes, and black and white markings on his fur. He is wearing leather armor with two short swords. I think a bow, a pack, and what you expect is an amount of daggers.
And then you also see a kind of a taller man, maybe around 6 feet tall. He is wearing dark leathers and a kind of a very neatly fitting dark leather coat. that is kind of pinned down his chest with silver buttons that are very neatly engraved, and it looks like he has 2 daggers on his hip, and kind of beside him, a few steps behind, another fairly beautiful-looking woman. She's wearing uh, a silver breastplate, and she has a long sword at her side. And underneath the breastplate, there's kind of a high-necked black lace kind of under a shirt underneath that covers her neck and her arms all the way down to her wrists. And then she has kind of a velvet red skirt also on. And as you kind of rein in your horse and begin to trot down the path and hail these travelers.
When I approach, I'm gonna be coming kind of heavy because I've been looking for you guys. So I'm coming quick. But my hand is free. There's no weapons in my hand. My hand is free, and I'm saying, "Hail, ho, hail!" I ride up.
The Root's going to sort of like his tail is gonna lash out, and he's gonna loudly but softly say, "Be quiet."
I really rein back, and I'm like, "Hail!" And I'm gonna start getting off my horse. I approach. What's up? What's going on?
Nice. You notice that Nice No is completely eyeing you up, like scanning your entire thing. Can she make a perception check as to what order he's a part of?
Sure, yeah. I would say it'd probably be more of a religion check.
That's funny. Okay. Oh wait, gotta take off rolls to DM real quick. Public. Okay.
I would say that you probably don't recognize the symbology unless you have a good reason of why you might.
No, not particularly.
Okay.
But you can definitely see that she's eyeing you up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a little closer since I'm whispering, holding the reins of the gelding, Lilac. And I go, shh, Lilac, shush. Like, excuse me, sorry to startle you. I got word that there's a group of individuals heading this way that are looking for a way out of here. Are you them?
Eventually.
Well, listen, I have been stuck here for far too long. I have no idea how I got here. I lost everybody I've known. I've been hanging out with the innkeep and their family. And listen, when I had word of you guys coming this way and that you guys are also going to be looking for a way out of here, listen, if I can come with you, I promise I can be of use. I like kind of heft my mace and shift my armor. I can be of good utility for you guys. I promise. I can't do it myself. I am lost. I have no idea what's going on.
First, which tavern were the Vistani running at?
I was at the Mordekov Tavern.
It's called
the one.
It's called the Blue Water Inn.
The Blue Water Inn. The one covered in ravens.
We don't know of it.
Mm.
How? Be quiet. I don't have time to care about your story. I don't mean to care, just to be honest. We have seen a very suspicious character walk into that carrying a writhen bag. Now, this is someone we've run into before. She has sold me pastries that were drugged, and I don't want to make too much of a ruckus because this person could be dangerous, and I do not want to head into a dangerous situation while alerting the enemy that we're heading in.
So, what kind of a dangerous situation? What woman did you see?
An old one.
What made her suspicious?
She drugged Nuru.
And she had a sack with something writhing in it. And she lived out in the middle of nowhere. And she's old. And she has no reason to be living out in the middle of nowhere.
She went into the windmill?
Yes.
Well, if this character is is evil or dangerous, you might want me with you guys, right? I got your back. I can be of use.
And Nice Snow turns to Nuru and nods.
Nuru nods back. Naru's gonna look to Veen.
Veen just shrugs. He just thinks it's another idiot adventurer who stumbled into Strahd's realm.
You're not gonna regret this. You guys aren't gonna regret this. This is a great decision.
Now,
I'm Rimpak, by the way.
Nuru. Now, I want to investigate the situation before we go barging in. There are windows on this kind of bill, are there not?
There are. They do look like they're very kind of dirty and pretty worn with time, with grime and growth of different sorts. But you can make a perception check, absolutely.
Well, what Nuru was going to say was, the party is stay here and I will go investigate. And if I just watch my back, stay quiet, for God's sake.
And the windows look dark and grimy.
Nuru is going to very quietly and stealthily make his way to the windmill.
Okay, sure. Can make a stealth check. How close would you like to get?
He's going to try to peek through the window, so very close.
Okay. So give me a stealth check, and you get all the way up to the front door of the windmill. Now, it does not look like there is, as far as you can tell, a window on the first floor, but you could try and scramble up to the ring of kind of broken down wood on what would probably be on the inside, the second level of the inn, or of the windmill, and try and peek inside there.
Yeah, and Nuru does have a climbing speed of 20 feet.
Yeah. So give me an athletics acrobatics check.
Either or both.
Either or. It's up to you. Yeah. So you kind of jump up and grab one of the beams that's still stuck into the stone of the windmill, supporting the little wooden rafters above, and you give kind of a deft little swing up and kind of land in a crouched position up on the little ring of wooden planks sticking out on the second level. You kind of creep up and sink your little paws onto the windowsill and look in, and you can see what looks like the old woman who had been rolling her cart up to the windmill. Looks like she's got a broom in her hand as she's dusting the floor. You can see kind of this cloud of white smoke or dust billowing up around her as she sweeps her broom around. It seems like in the center of the room there's this big grinding mechanism.
And can Nuru see the sack anywhere?
You do not see the sack, no.
And is the window impairing his sight any way because of it being grimy?
It's yeah, you can kind of see, little slivers of the inside, like it's not totally like you can see all the way through. So even if the woman inside were to maybe even look out the window kind of haphazardly, they might not even notice you.
Is there another window nearby within that Nuru could feasibly get to?
Yeah, you can kind of walk around the edge. This kind of platform here wraps all the way around the windmill, but it is kind of rickety and worn down. You can even feel the planks beneath you as you've hoisted yourself up are kind of sagging under your weight.
Nuru will very carefully try to make his way to the next window.
Sure. So you start creeping around to another side of the windmill to see if you can get a better look through one of the other windows. And the raven that was there perched on the sill above the door kind of starts flapping and fluttering around you, flapping its wings and squawking, and then it flies off. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm going to say to Rimpak, give your horse to. I've forgotten what the NPCs' names are, but the NPCs, they'll watch it. You come with us inside. They'll wait outside.
I'll hand the reins to the beautiful NPC woman,
Uh-huh.
and I hand it to her, and I'll be like, give her like, here you go, ma'am.
Irina and his mom.
she looks back confused, and she hands him over to Veen.
I think he was talking about Irina.
I'm saying to Irina and
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not pretty. I'm just joking.
Well, Irina does take the reins, and she kind of strokes the horse's neck, and she looks to you, Rimkus. Is it Rimkus or Rimpak? Did you change that?
It's Rimpak.
Okay.
Rimkus was a character that died. That
because I got the token.
That's what I originally had it as Rimkus. I realized no, he died, so I needed to change it.
Let me.
That's actually the name of like every single cleric I've played. I've had a Rim something ever since EverQuest.
There we go.
I'm also going to whisper to Ismark, if enemies come, ride to the next town over, whose again name eludes me.
Not
So shit goes down, they just fucking leg it.
Valaki.
Relax.
Yeah, Irina kind of pats the horse's neck and looks over at you, Rimpak, and smiles, and she says, "It's a beautiful horse."
Oh, thank you. It's a gift. So let's make sure we can get it back to the innkeeps when we're done with it. And I want to reach out and shake and be like, "Hey, man, what's your name?" To the tall NPC name.
Yeah, he reaches his hand out, kind of suspiciously looking down at yours, but he does shake your hand, and he says, Ismark Indirovich.
Ismark. Hey, it's good to meet you, Ismark. I'm Rimpak. All right, let's go. Let's do this. And I follow Veen.
Cool. So you kind of make your way closer to the windmill, Veen?
I'm staying back 30 feet, just waiting for Nuru's signal.
Okay. So you kind of make your way over to another window. The grime level is pretty much on par with the last one. You still can't see another sack or anything, but why don't you make a perception check for me? So you can hear kind of softly laughing or giggling on the level above you. Two more female humanoid voices, and maybe like a kind of a faint whimpering of a younger sounding voice, possibly a child's.
And is this whimpering definitely whimpering to be concerned about?
No, don't poke me again.
Naru's gonna scale back down.
Okay.
And as quietly as he can manage, and return to the park. Do you want me to roll anything?
No, you're good.
All right.
You make it back.
I heard a child's voice.
Your stealth was a 16, right? Yeah, you're fine.
I heard the voice of two other women and a child. The child did not seem to be treated as well as should.
Should we be concerned?
Yeah.
Very.
Perhaps that's what was in the bag.
Yes, the women's voices I heard were laughing. We need to attack this situation because I am afraid that these might be very powerful. I mean, to live in a situation like this.
So when you say attack the situation, do you mean like barge through the front door and hit whatever you see inside, or?
He means discuss the situation before going through with it, or
Okay.
discuss.
Like a
It
situation.
means we're all going to draw shotguns and breach and clear.
We need a Habana to blow open the door real quick.
Yeah, right.
I recommend stepping quiet to.
Upon saying stepping quietly, I stare at.
Yeah, I have a disadvantage to stealth. I'm heavily armored and I clank, and I'm actually even slower than I need to be because I don't have the strength to move my armor. But it's very nice and it's shiny.
Try your best, because. Oh, I mean,
So if you guys are just going to try and get closer to the windmill, why doesn't everybody... If you're going to try and do it quietly, why doesn't everybody make a stealth check for me?
Okay.
Nice Snow or Hemdriel, we can't really hear you. I don't know if you're muted or... I see your lips moving.
Oh, sorry. I was pressing C instead of V for the voice chat.
Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah. Either way, what she said before doesn't matter.
Okay.
And of course, if there's a child in danger, my cleric lawful goodness is going to be like. I immediately get stern when I hear that there's a child. By the way, my face goes, and I'm like, I'm all business. You know, this is. Where's my stealth check? Oh, there it is.
It's funny how nice the Rimpak. Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
I love it.
Something about the clanking of Rimpak's armor and Nice Snow just kind of throws you off. But you guys do get closer to the windmill. Ismark kind of follows, not as he doesn't go as far as you guys do, but he does kind of get a little closer as well. But he kind of sticks close to Irina and the horse. And as you guys kind of get closer to the door on the third level, one of the windows actually flies open. And you see a woman in this kind of pale blue dress with kind of a frilled collar lean out. She looks kind of homely, but she looks down and then you hear her say, "Sister, there's men outside. Men." And she goes back in. And you can hear the two pairs of footsteps like rushing down the inner levels of the structure.
Naru's going to flatten himself against the wall near the door, not near enough to get hit if it is to fly open. However, to be initially out of sight.
You hear as they are kind of running down and around. You can hear them very loudly, like talking. One of them goes, "I get the tall one."
I'm just going to try and play this off casually, know that we've been spotted. I'm going to knock on the door.
Okay, sure. Just
I
as
want to put my shield in hand, but no weapon in hand.
Gotcha.
Because they're ladies. Still.
So just as you are about to knock on the door there, Veen, before your knuckles kind of hit to rap on the door, the front door flies open and you see the gal who's leaning out the window, and then you see another one just behind her kind of bouncing up and down on her feet, and she's wearing kind of like a canary yellow dress of the same kind of make, with also kind of white little frills on the collar. Both look like maybe they're in their late 20s or early 30s, but they are not the most attractive women maybe you've ever seen.
Just my type.
One of them's got a big kind of hairy mole by her nose, and they both kind of have this moppy mess of dark brown hair. But the first woman in the blue dress kind of imposes right in the front of the doorway. She goes, "Oh, we haven't had visitors in so long. Would you like to come in for a drink? I'm Ophelia. This is my sister, Bella. It's nice to see some big, strong, strapping men out here in the windmill."
I turn to Nuru and say, which one was it? This is in reference to something story-wise we were talking about recently about they poisoned you.
Are either of them Ramilda?
Neither of them are the women you saw back in Barovia.
Naru's going to shake his head and try to very quietly sheath the sword.
But you would have recognized that woman as the woman on the second floor sweeping in the second level.
The one that
Nuru
you saw. Okay.
do this. They hold up 2 fingers and then make a sweeping motion.
I blink.
Yeah,
not knowing.
nice.
I'm
No
just
blinks
like
as
looking
well.
blankly.
So kind of behind this woman, you know, they both look like they're maybe about 5 feet tall, so you can kind of easily pretty much see into the room beyond her. So it looks like the ground floor looks like it's been converted into sort of a makeshift kitchen of sorts. The room looks like it's filthy. There are baskets and old dishware that look like they're just kind of piled everywhere. Adding to the clutter, looks like there's a little peddler's cart, a chicken coop, a heavy wooden trunk. Looks like you can see there's actually kind of like a pretty looking wooden cabinet on the wall with flowers painted on the doors inside. You can hear like some chickens clucking, and you can also hear the sound of toads croaking. You do have that sweet smell of the pastries, but it kind of blends horribly with the stench, some other stench that kind of burns your nostrils, wafting out of the door as she opens it. This awful odor seems to be coming out of an open, upright barrel that's in the center of the room. And there's this warmth issuing out, kind of radiating out of the front door, that seems also to be coming from a brick oven against one wall. And then you can see the kind of a crumbling staircase ascending the wall across from the oven. And you can hear another voice upstairs kind of cackling to herself.
So since they opened the door and I'm like standing in front of it,
There's 2
we have
at the
been
door, right?
one behind each other. We have been traveling and our supplies are low. Might you know where we could get some water to fill our water skins?
Yeah, the second one, or the woman behind in the yellow dress, Bella, she says, "We have plenty of water. Come in, do come in. We'll give you drink. Perhaps we could even cook you up something nice." So do you step inside?
I will enter.
Okay.
Nice Nose going to insight check that because she doesn't trust him for a second.
Okay, sure.
There's no need to insight.
Can I get a
just
perception check on the
lies.
smell?
As
Is that
you
possible?
as you step in, Veen, you can see that littering the floor seem to be a bunch of little bones.
Naru's gonna follow
As
Veen.
in chicken or as in person?
Can make a medicine check. They're definitely bigger than chicken bones. So, Hemdriel, what is your insight for? If they're... It seems like they are very eager to feed and give you drink.
Could I do a perception check on the smell to maybe notice a familiar odor by
Sure.
chance?
Yeah, sure.
All right, I want to try that real quick.
She is also not convinced by the feed, reminding herself that Nice No got drugged by the pie.
Sure. So in your experience in
Nice.
being kind of a mercenary of sorts, hunting down different people or beasts, Rimpak, you recognize this smell as being demon ichor.
I want to go ahead and take my weapon in hand.
Sure.
As soon as I recognize the smell, I just want to
Uh-huh.
have it. But I'm gonna go along with this just for now, because sometimes it's good to have surprise, I suppose.
Yeah, Ophelia, as she sees you kind of draw your weapon, she says, "There's no need for that. We don't mean you any harm. Please come in. Let's talk. It's been so long since we've had such handsome men visiting our windmill."
And then Nice No steps in.
Oh, and you, I guess.
I'm gonna stand at the doorway. I have my shield at the doorway and mace in hand, and I'm just gonna be like, I'm good.
Just put your token on head inside the building. Just put your token on mine so you can at least see what's going on.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my place like that.
The other sister,
Okay,
Bella,
cool.
she says, "Ophelia, don't be so rude. If that's what makes him feel comfortable, then let him have his weapon out. Hopefully soon we'll get to stroke it."
Naru has flashback. The previous stuff.
Yeah.
Suddenly, her first His fur stands on end.
um, water, you said. Water, yes. And she kind of goes over to the sink. She kind of like starts moving dishes around and finds a mug, and there's like this still pool of water in the basin, and she dips the mug into it, and it's like black and dirty, and she hands you a mug of disgusting water, Veen.
I take the mug.
Who's closest? Who's closest to me? Is it Veen's closest to me?
Yeah, Veen.
I'm the slightly reddish one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I want to like just kind of like lean some of the door, and so I want to try to whisper at Veen. I go, "Don't drink it. I smell demon in here."
I roll my eyes at you.
And I'm like obviously looking overly agitated and on edge, just like.
Yeah.
It's not very obvious.
After Bella hands you the cup of water, Veen, Ophelia says, "So, what has brought you, fine gentlemen, and you, out to our fine home?"
Nuru will say, "Well, we have been traveling for some time, but I saw a familiar face walk by. I could not help but be intrigued as to maybe become familiar with her establishment. Romilda. She sold me such delicious food before."
They kind of look between each other, and Bella says, "Oh yes, you've met our mother. She does visit Barovia quite often."
Oh, she was absolutely charming.
We sell our pastries to the townfolk there.
I never had such a well night's rest.
She kind of pulls open the cast iron door of the little stove. She says, "As a matter of fact, we're about to have a new batch that's going to be ready quite soon. So, if you'd like, we can all have a lovely meal together."
How big is the stove? Could one say push someone into it?
It's not quite that big.
Yeah.
It's child size.
It's big enough to push a child into, yes, but probably not a full grown.
It can fit a small sized creature into its
Yeah,
office.
yes.
Rimpak speaks of, where is your mother now?
Oh, she's upstairs getting ready to grind some new flour for more pastries.
It's
Inside
quite rude.
checking that.
She hasn't come down to meet her guests. You have said yourself you haven't had guests in some time.
Oh,
Why won't you join us?
Our mother is not quite so personable as we are, and she's more of she's more of the business type.
But surely,
once she gets into her work, it's hard to snap her out of it.
What sort of work is that? Grinding what exactly did you say?
Flour.
I start edging towards the stairs.
Flour for the pastries.
I like to walk towards the stairs.
Sure. You hear a voice from upstairs. Come on, Isabella, stop toying with them. We need more ingredients for the mill anyways. And Bella kind of frustratedly stops her foot, and she kind of looks up at the ceiling and says, "Mother, you never let us have any fun."
I'm just going to turn to Nuru and say, "Remember the deer," and then I'm going to stab one of them with my glaive.
Okay.
The one on
Wait,
the
what?
left.
What did Veen say?
Remember the deer.
The deer?
It happened earlier today.
The deer, the one that you guys hunted.
Hunting.
Oh yeah.
Why don't you make an attack roll with your glaive, Veen, and then I'd like everyone to select their token and roll some initiative.
Yeah, can you explain to me, because it's been so long, what exactly is Veen trying to say?
So earlier in what was this day, you and I hunted a deer, and I attacked. So I'm essentially hinting to you I'm going to attack.
14.2?
Tiebreaker.
He has 2 decks here. Dare say 20 hits.
That's good.
20 is a hit, yes.
Minimum damage. Also, I'm not being a dick and like not being in melee range. I have a 10-foot reach.
As you kind of stick your glaive into Ophelia, you can kind of see her image, the image of her form kind of shift and change, and her face begins to kind of twist and change into this twisted scowl. Her skin goes kind of a gray and then a purple, and she sprouts a long mane of black scraggly hair, and then her sister begins to change as well, and they start to begin to look a little like this.
Oh. Oh,
He roots
dang.
his soul to Veen. Good thing we're already married.
Also, I don't know enough about the creatures. That is a magical weapon, if it matters.
Okay.
Alright.
See, I switched to Chrome because my video wasn't working on Firefox, but
Me too. I did something.
Chrome always goes so slow in Roll20 for me for some reason.
It's the RAM issue. It just drains it so hard.
So you hear some cackling from the second level, and kind of a haggard-looking old woman appears at the top of the stairs and grins, and she says, "Lovely, more material for pastries." And she like looks directly at you, Rimpak, as you were kind of looking up at the stairs towards her, and she casts polymorph on you. So I need you to make a I believe it is a DC 15. Wait, this is not correct. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I need you to make a DC 15. Their spells for some reason aren't in, so I think it's a charisma save, but I could be wrong about that.
All right, we'll
what's
see.
What's your highest saving throw?
My highest saving throw would be wisdom, probably.
Okay, make a DC 15 wisdom saving throw for me.
It's a wisdom. It's a wisdom save
Cool.
anyway.
Okay, so I'll just roll wisdom.
Nice. So you feel like this magical energy press in on you, and you feel like it's trying to just like shift your entire being into some new form, but you shake it off. And Veen, you're up.
Okay, so first time I get to go into a rage. I'm going into a rage. So
Nice.
my rage is weird. As I rage, two spectral beings kind of merge out of me.
Okay.
They look very similar to me, but slightly different. One's a bit, like they're both a bit shorter. One's a lot shorter. And then I am going to attack the same one, so the one on the left.
$19 is a hit. You dig your glaive deep into the vile-looking woman again. Your first attack was 6, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I didn't minus that, so. And then Nuru. Well, sorry, Veen. Are you? Is that your turn?
Yes, it does apply this though.
Oh,
Any attack roll that isn't against you. All right. Let's see. We will mark her. What is that ability called? Ancestral Protectors?
Yeah.
Okay.
would that make you a barbarian, Veen?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just for my notes. Thank you. I like kind of learning as things happen. Just
Nuru, you're up.
Nuru will step forward and stab this hoe.
Yeah, you kind of slash out at her, and she just kind of throws her arms back and then looks down at your blade and holds up one of her fingers and just wags it at you.
Nuru will hiss and disengage.
Okay. As you take a step back, Bella, the one that you just tried to stab at, she kind of gives you a mischievous grin, and she will attempt to cast a spell on you. Man, I should have noticed that these fucking...
It's just old stuff, and Roll20's changed its spells, so yeah.
So I'm gonna have to get out a little notepad just to make sure that I properly track their spell slots and stuff.
Well, that's happening. Just Nuru is a bit of out of character background. When you came down from the windmill, you told us you heard whimpering of a child, right?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure that my movement upstairs was, I would have known to do that. That's why.
Also, what's with the skull and crossbones symbol on me?
It's just
Am I dying?
No, it's just telling... I put one on the creature as well. That's kind of for me to remember that they're affected by your barbarian
sure.
thing. Yeah.
Ancestral guardians.
So, as she's continuing to wag her finger at you, Nuru, she snaps her fingers and casts Hold Person. So I need you to make a DC 15 saving throw for me. I believe that is going to also be a Wisdom.
Okay. Shit. Oh.
Yes.
So it's kind of the same thing. You begin to kind of feel all your muscles constrict, and they almost feel like you're just going to freeze in place. And you can feel like starting from the tip of your tail, all the little hairs run up your back, kind of stand on end, and then you kind of snap out of it, and Bella kind of frowns and she says, "I'll make you my pet soon enough."
I'll make you my what?
Pet.
They're
Too
cat
late,
ladies.
Naru's gonna say, "Too late, I'm already his," and he's going to point his thumb at me.
Also, just for Richard's benefit, our characters are married.
Yeah.
Okay.
Accident.
Yeah, we can talk about that later. Ophelia looks up at the top of the stairs at her mother, and her twisted scowl just goes into this even deeper frown, and you can just kind of hear her say quietly to herself, "She never lets us have any fun." And you see that she just kind of starts waving her hands around out in front of her, and she will cast Bestow Curse on you, Veen. So I need you to make a saving throw for me. I have to look up these spells every time I cast one because they're not in the goddamn spell list for the NPCs. But it is a wisdom, so you need to make a wisdom saving throw. DC 15.
Nope. Which curse?
While cursed, the target has disadvantage. So now you have disadvantage on attack rolls against Ophelia as well. And I believe at the end of each of your turns, you can make a saving throw again to try to shake off the curse.
Sure. So the marked one is the one who attacked me, correct?
Yeah.
Alright,
So
cool.
your attacks will have disadvantage against them now as well.
Sure.
And Rimpak, you are up.
Okay, how many stairs would I have been able to go up, would you say, Ryan, before the combat was initiated?
You'd probably be maybe 2 or 3 stairs up, but it's only probably 10 feet total to the next level. It's a pretty sharp rise, so pretty quickly you can be right up there in Morganta's face.
Okay. Yeah. And instead of I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna head upstairs.
Okay. Sure.
I'm gonna rush up. And when I see this woman up there, I would like to cast Hold Person on her.
Okay. Nice. So she'll need to make a Wisdom save against you.
Now when I cast a Hold Person, me being level 4, I cast at level 4, right? Or does it? I forget how it works with clerics exactly.
It'll.
I haven't played in almost 8 months.
Okay, yeah. So let's see. I mean, I think what Hold Person is like a 3rd level spell, isn't it?
Yep.
Second, I think.
So I think you can cast it at a higher level, but it should, depending on how you entered your spells. I mean,
it's at a second. It's a second level spell, but I didn't get it until
yeah. So it'll cast it'll cast as a 2nd level spell. When you cast the spell, you can cast it as with higher spell slots.
I use it more.
It just affects more people.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I just want to make sure that's I last time I played it was homebrew shit. Okay, all right, I'm gonna cast Hold Person.
So she has to make a DC 14 Wisdom save against you, which she will attempt to do. So she fails, and you kind of see her start to grin as you move up towards her, and you kind of hold out your arm and release your magical energy, and that twisted, snarled smile of pleasure that she has just kind of locks in place. And she's like not even blinking or moving or anything at all.
I'll say, Steve. I was going to say, stay still, witch.
And so now I believe at the end of her turn, she can make saving throws to try to break out of it, right? Cool. Is your turn over, Rimpak?
If I have any movement left, I kind of want to look around the room to see where that if the kid's in here.
So you want to kind of move past her?
Yes.
You definitely don't see any kids down on the 1st floor. So if you want to move past her, you can. So it's kind of, you've moved 10 feet, and moving through an enemy, if they're paralyzed, would be like difficult terrain. So another 10 feet, and then you get to the. Oh, sorry, Nice Snow.
Okay.
So you get to the 2nd floor, and you kind of see. You kind of see the inside of the dirt-caked windows. There's very little light that seems like it's coming in from the outside. The 2nd level looks like it's about 8 feet high, most of which is taken up by this large millstone connected to a wooden gear shaft that rises through the ceiling of the next level in the center of the room. And there's another stone staircase that continues up towards, now you can still kind of hear like the whimpering of what sounds like scared children.
Okay. Now that'll be my turn. Is move my first past the.
So Hemdriel, you're up next.
Okay, so you see that circle I made in the bottom left? Okay, is there I'm looking to see if it'll hit any of my allies from this point over here.
No, you would probably be able to position it to where it wouldn't get anybody. You're trying to get it on the.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to get it on them. So yeah, I'm just I'm like arcing it right into that corner right there.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So
What you casting?
But first, right before that. It's gonna get fun here. So she figured that these were in some way magical beings, but upon seeing them, she gets triggered. And seeing them in their full form, she knows just instinctually what they are, and she starts speaking in Celestial, basically being like "Kitamelosna," and then suddenly her body flares up. And then out of her back, bone wings pop out, flip to the side, casting the light, and she's going to cast Necrotic Shroud as a bonus action.
Nice.
So what saving throws do we all need to make?
Creatures in 10 feet
it's-
of DC must make a charisma saving throw.
Yep.
Am I out of range of that since I'm upstairs?
Yeah, you're out of
I
sight.
would say yeah.
Are they? Is it everyone that can see me, or is it just
So I mean, it just says creatures within 10 feet of you that you can
That
see.
can see.
I'm curious as to whether that affects allies or not. I'm just curious.
It does.
It's not going
It
to
does.
affect. I'm just going to do it anyways. But
Yeah.
Well, is it that you can see means it has to be in front of you? So if you're not looking at your allies, is that it's more of a cone thing?
You're just intentionally like averting your gaze.
It says that you can see.
So if you step forward and you can't see them, like Cyclops, right?
because she's fixing her. Wait. 10 feet of creatures that you can see. I'm staring directly at them.
Yeah.
So
2 feet
as
of
my
you.
sight, would I even be able to see Nuru or Veen if I'm looking at them?
I would say, give me like a perception check to just kind of see how focused you are just on the two hags, and
Fair enough.
and how much of your peripheral vision has kind of been wiped away.
You actually put your hand up and you do this.
No. I mean, I figure it's an AoE thing, but right now she's in full rage. Perception check, you said?
Yeah. So yeah,
Nah.
I'd say that's fine. You kind of get intensely focused, and you just have this flash of familiarity of the pure evil of these creatures that's radiating out from them, and just outside of your peripheral vision, Nuru and Veen kind of fade away, and you guys won't have to make your saves, and I'll just do it for the creatures.
So it's a charisma save 14.
DC 14 charisma save.
I can't imagine witches having much charisma.
You'd be surprised.
They're pretty.
I'm assuming they're based off a sorcerer.
I imagine that they're pretty charismatic, but one fails, so that's something.
Well, you might think so, but unfortunately, no. They all succeed.
Oh, something I don't know. So she sprouts the wings out for like Veen and Nuru to see. You're upstairs, so you don't see them, but you definitely hear the flap of a wing, and then right after that, followed by nice snow beginning to glow violently, and as she does, all of the light shoots forward in a blinding radiance, and she's casting Shatter.
Nice.
Wow, you just used an action.
No,
Yeah.
Necrotic Shroud is a bonus action.
No, you can end it on a bonus action. It is itself an action. You've even got it written in your tooltip.
Oh yeah, it does say
Holy
action
crap.
time, one action.
All
yeah.
right then. Well, I'm committing. Yeah, that's what she does.
And then you kind of like turn, I'd say, because they all succeed, like you were trying to be very imposing and scary, but then like you remember the last time you had your wings out, and you kind of turn and look out the door to see if like Strahd's nearby anywhere,
Nuru's gonna start running.
No.
Nuru is also remembering last time.
So if are you gonna move or anything, or do you got anything else, Hemdriel?
I'm checking things real quick, but I do not think so.
Okay. At the end of
Wait. I'm going to Halo one of them. That's a bonus action. No, wait, crap. Never mind. Can't do that. Okay, that's the end of my turn.
If you got a cantrip, you could do it.
No, that's the thing is for the rules, it states that if I have a bonus action cantrip and another cantrip, I could do that. But if I cast a spell or something, it cancels out.
You haven't cast a spell though. You used an ability, not a spell.
Yeah.
Is that a technicality that the abilities don't count like spells?
I mean, it's a
it's
magical.
not a spell.
It's a magical ability, but I would let you cast a bonus action spell if you got it.
It doesn't consume a spell slot. Is the justification.
Yeah, I do have a bonus action spell, but I do not have a bonus action cantrip for this. I'll just say that she doesn't do anything.
Okay,
So that
sure.
was her turn.
At the end of her turn, Morgantha, the two hags below's mother, will make a saving throw to break free from her paralyzation, and you kind of see like her eyes flicker back and forth again in front of her, and then she doesn't see the cleric, and her neck kind of creaks almost a full 180 behind her to look up the stairs.
Ooh.
And you can then feel this presence creeping up behind you, Rimpak, and you feel two arthritic, decrepit old hands grab around your waistline, and the mother, I think, is the one that's not really fucking around, so she will cast.
But the save's at the end of the turn. The save's at the end of the turn.
Oh yeah,
beginning.
you're correct. Yeah, you're correct. Thank you, Veen. So yeah, then her turn's over. Veen, you're up.
I'm going to shout, "Brothers, guide my glaive," and I will attack the same target using reckless attack.
What's this attack? I gotta use the restroom. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries. Go get it.
So that counters at the disadvantage.
Okay. Well, an 18 is definitely a hit.
14 damage.
14 damage. That 10 feet reach is nice too, brother.
Yeah.
And then at the end of your
Is it
turn,
still up?
the end of your
It's at
turn.
the end of my turn.
Oh, okay.
Is it still up?
Oh. The curse?
No, the enemy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. I am then going to swing my glaive around and hit it with the blunt end.
Okay. Yeah, so you
That's
kind of
my
slice
weakness.
through. You can see like her tattered, ragged robes, like a big gash gets torn in them, and you can see a big opening in her chest from the blade of your glaive, and this black Icarish-looking thick blood begins to ooze out down the front of her. And then you slap back around with the back end of your polearm, but she kind of like raises her forearm up in front of her, and it just makes this loud crack, and as it stops the movement of your weapon, and she like bares all her teeth at you.
Okay, and then wisdom to end the turn.
Yeah, you may make a wisdom save to get rid of the bestow curse. Unfortunately, you fail. And
Yep. And all attacks have advantage on me.
for this next round.
Yeah, because reckless attack.
Yeah. So Nuru, you're up.
Nuru is going to hiss once more, will step forward, and stab at this hag again.
All right.
Which one are you stabbing? That's a short bow.
Oh, purple, sorry.
You can re-roll. There you go. 17. You step in towards her and thrust out with your blade, and you feel it sink deeply into her belly through her robes. You pull your weapon back out, and you can see this thick black blood, like almost tar-like substance, just dripping off the end of your blade. 14.
And sneak attack.
For
And
14.
then he will disengage, step back, and end his turn.
All right. So let's see. I've cast 3 spells now total, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
This is only the second round of combat.
Wait, are you talking about their spells they've cast?
Yeah, 3 spells total I've cast, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 So hold person.
One each at the moment.
Each of their turns was a spell turn, so yeah, that would make sense.
It's just
Yeah,
getting to the second turn.
It was polymorph, bestow curse,
Hold
and
person.
a hold person.
Gotcha.
Those are the 3 spells they cast.
Thank you.
And only
Uh,
curse stock.
Yeah, polymorph was the mother's spell.
Yeah.
Just letting you know.
Just one each. Concentration save for the one I hit.
Oh yeah. You did 14, right?
Yes.
So your curse is gone. You feel her dark
Okay, cool.
influence on you fade away. And then Nuru, the one that you just stabbed, I think she's starting to get a little irritated with you, so she'll kind of hop forward with her kind of gnarly, grimy, thick, sharp little yellow nails, kind of laughing and cackling as she comes towards you.
I'm just envisioning the witch lady from Robin Hood when she came at the guy like. Ah!
That's a good visual.
And she will cast Phantasmal Killer on you. So I need you to make a Wisdom saving throw of a DC 15.
I know that one.
God. Okay.
So you are now frightened of Bella, the one directly in front of you. And at the end of your turns, on your turns, you can only use your turn to move away from her at least. And then you'll have to continue to make wisdom saves at the end of your turns.
So you can't willingly move towards.
Yeah, willingly move towards her, yes.
Can he throw things at her?
I don't think so.
You attack the other one.
But we can look up Frighten just to make sure. Frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight. And you can't willingly move closer to the source of the fear. So you can attack with disadvantage against them. And you can't willingly move closer to them.
Okay.
And then at the end of your turn next round, or the next time you're up, you'll have to make a wisdom save.
I have a quick question with the 10-foot reach.
Uh-huh.
So are we just ruling it's 2 squares away, or?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Yeah.
That's easier.
So Ophalia, I think I've been butchering her name this whole time. She will waggle her yellow fingers at you there, Veen, and she will attempt to polymorph you. So DC 15 Wisdom saving throw.
What creature am I?
She turned you into a dragon.
The rest of you see kind of in a puff of feathers, Veen drop to the floor of the windmill and begin clucking like a chicken.
I don't know.
Quick, dancing lights.
And Rimpak, you're up.
Can I do a cantrip and an attack? Or that to be one or the other?
If you take the attack action, you cannot cast a cantrip, no.
That's what I thought. And this Ophelia's at the top of the stairs, and I'm like right next to her.
Mm-hmm. She actually hasn't come all the way up yet because she had to make her save at the end of the turn last turn, so she's like still a couple steps below you, actually.
Okay. I want to kick her down the stairs.
Okay, sure.
So I just roll like a DC 20, I suppose. Or should I roll my
You're
regular
gonna
attack?
like charge down at her and just try and kick her and make her stumble down the stairs.
Well, I'm gonna try to like just smash her with my shield, a shield bash, and like
Yeah.
make her fall down the stairs.
Strength.
Maybe.
It'll be an opposed strength athletics check.
Okay.
Just to ask, is your character more military inclined or just like wanton?
I'm classically he's a military trained.
Okay, so to describe it, the shield bashes the reeling of his shoulder come back, and he pulls his hips over to it and cracks him with the side of the shield.
Okay. I would like to do that. Also, I have I think I miscalculated my AC. I have plate armor and a shield. Would that make it 18 or 20?
20.
20. Okay, because I was running with the disadvantage of movement, and that would make sense then. Okay.
With plate
Someone
mail.
got bonus items.
With plate mail, you will be DC 18 without a shield. So with a shield, you'll be up at 20. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I played last game. I played that shields were only like a gimmick. They never added AC. Okay, so gotta get that old stuff on my head. All right, I'm gonna do this. Athletics, you said?
That's a really strange especially for 5th edition. That's a strange mechanic.
Well, it wasn't. I played 0E homebrew for like the last 2 years. I've only DM'd this, and I always put all that stuff on the players to tell me what's going on.
Okay, yeah. That's kind of how I operate too.
All right, here's my athletics check. Come on. Oh,
Yeah, you kind of charge down the stairs towards Morgantha, and you bring your shield over and bash her with it, and you feel like when you hit her, it feels like you're hitting a solid slab of stone. Like, she doesn't even budge.
Oh, damn.
And you feel like your arm, like, kind of ring and jostle, like if it could make, like, a gong noise, it would.
Damn. I like that.
Got anything else for me? You'd be kind of like down just right here now, and she's just like just below where the stairs dip down to the lower level.
All right, so I'm gonna after I did that and my short ring, I'm just gonna kind of bring my shield around and like just kind of like put it in front of me and like look at her over the top,
Sure.
with mace, right? Like I want her to pay attention to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh
That's
yeah,
cool.
she's already coming for you for sure.
All right, let's do it.
Hemdriel, you're up.
But then, what I said last turn, this turn.
Okay, cool. So that was Shatter.
Yeah.
These will be dex saves for everyone, right?
I think it's actually a Constitution save.
Okay.
That's better for me than Dex. That's good.
Yeah, it's a Constitution saving throw.
DC 14, correct?
Yep.
So describe the casting of your spell.
I did it last turn, but I'll
okay.
reiterate.
Sure.
So basically, her body begins to just resonate, and the light starts erupting out of her skin. And then as she looks forward, both her arms go forward, and all the light channels forward, and it's basically just an explosion from where she points.
Sure.
Coming out of her.
Well, none of the hags budge, but the crate of frogs explodes, and 100 toads go flying all around the room, and the chickens in the chicken coop just blast into puffs of feathers. So there's now feathers kind of raining down from the ceiling, and there's toads that are all splattered against the back wall now. There's a few that have flopped to the ground, and now they're kind of hopping in every direction around your feet, trying to find a way out.
Also, I'm just letting you know, due to the necrotic shroud, one of the targets of the spell receives necrotic damage equal to my level, and it would be the most evil one.
Okay.
Essentially, I'll leave that DM's discretion.
I assume that would be the mother. Also, does that provoke concentration saves?
Well,
If
they all pass their saving throw, so they take no damage, right?
They take half
No,
damage.
no, they take half damage.
Oh, do they? Oh, okay. So they each
Mhm.
take 5 damage anyways.
And then-
It would, yes, it would provoke concentration checks for them. DC 10s. So
Also-
let's see. 2 of you, I think, are currently affected by their spells, right?
Yeah, I know I am. I'm not sure if Frankie is.
I thought you broke your curse though, Veen, didn't you?
I did, then I got polymorph.
You broke your curse,
Oh, that's
yeah, but
right.
you're polymorph now.
They-
The only chicken
Bring
in the
it
room
back.
that isn't hasn't been exploded into a puff of feathers.
What do chickens hit for? Like 1d3?
That's what I'm waiting to see, because I need to know its health and its attack.
They deal 1 damage, but there's a whole swarm of them. That's why Link always dies.
Man, these witches are rolling well.
So you are, yeah, Veen and Nuru, you're still affected by your spells, and then, Morgantha reaches her hand out and kind of grips it around your, wrist that has your mace in it, and, she casts a Phantasmal Killer on you as well. So you need to make a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw.
All right, come on, wisdom. You're basically everything I got. Let's go. Oh.
And
Nope.
so
Damn.
you are now frightened of her after kind of cracking her with your shield and her not even budging an inch.
I was already frightened of her. So it's gonna
And at the end of your turns, you will have to continue to make wisdom saving throws. And on consecutive failures, other things will happen to you.
yeah.
So Veen,
Alright, so what is my attack?
if you want to attack before you make your save as a chicken, you may. I would say
I mean,
just
I'm raging,
it's
I have to.
oh yeah, you're a raging chicken. So I'll actually let you roll. You just roll your attack, your normal attack roll with your weapon.
Okay. And yeah, I also need to know how much
Okay,
health it has.
I got a great way to make money with this guy after this fight. Called cockfighting. Really big.
Chicken fighting in Vlaki. Yeah, you guys are gonna run that town.
And the best part is he'll be glowing the entire time.
So you only do 1 damage plus your strength modifier in damage, though.
Do I get the rage as well?
You do get the rage as well. Yeah, so 1 plus your strength plus your rage and damage.
Better than nothing.
So, 7.
All right. You peck her pinky toe clean off of her foot.
You need that pinky toe. Wait,
I also had to
witches
move
have
up to
toes?
do
I
that.
saw a movie where witches don't have toes.
These ones do,
Okay, good.
but maybe they each only have like 4 toes. So now she's got 3, and she's going to make a concentration check for her polymorph on you. And then you can make your save to be depolymorphed if you'd like.
Well, important, does a chicken have any bonus actions?
Yeah, I mean, you have a fly speed of 20 feet, and you can bonus action poop on something.
Poop.
Well, I'm going to use the rest of my movement to run circles around them, in between their feet, and then
Okay.
I will poop.
Okay.
That is my turn.
Very appropriate.
Nuru,
But
you're
yeah,
up.
how much health are you ruling the chicken has? Like 1 health, 10 AC?
One,
something like
yeah,
that?
one health, 10 AC, yeah.
Alright, cool. I actually want them to squish me because then I turn back to a person.
So against Bella, you can't get closer to them willingly, and if you try to attack them with something, you'll have disadvantage.
Nuru will not move, however, he will throw a dagger at her.
Okay.
Alright, with disadvantage.
Nice. So despite your despite your knees kind of knobbling together in fear, you do just quickly let a dagger loose, kind of like covering your eyes with your arm, and when you kind of peek underneath your forearm. You can see it sticking right out of her shoulder. So 7, 15 total damage.
Yep.
Nice. So she'll make a concentration check.
And do I have concentration or a wisdom save?
She'll
then?
make her concentration check first, and then if she passes, you can make your wisdom save. So, she passes. It's a 10 or half the total damage, so 12 is fine. And now make a wisdom saving throw of a DC 15 for me.
Is it normal or disadvantage?
It's normal.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh.
You're about to take 4d10 psychic damage.
Whoa.
Also, look at
Whoa.
my snake is shedding.
Nice.
Oh, hey.
Yay.
Tis the season, I suppose.
So you are no longer affected by their phantasmal killer spell, and Bella stomps her foot in frustration, and I have a really bad habit of pulling up just a billion tabs when I start DMing.
That's why 2 screens is so good.
Yeah, I can't wait for that shit.
I love the mannerisms of these witches, man. They're perfect.
After this session, I'm definitely gonna get the second one set up here. I do have to make sure that I continue to keep track properly of these spells. Man, I can't find a good pen fucking anywhere.
You know, if you had a second monitor, you could pull up like a notepad.
Yeah.
You gotta have one of
so-
these. They call it a pencil.
I could do
I'm
that.
just-
I could do that with a single monitor too, I suppose. But
I'm just imagining
That's
the
it.
witches going like, "Oh man, I almost had those kids if it wasn't for that dang chicken and cat.
I
That
want to
little
pull the
cat too."
skin off Ophelia's head, and then like it's old man
Just
Jiggy.
say,
It's really Strahd all along. We're all
Veen's
dead.
done like most of the damage here. Like Naru's
over.
hit once and Nice Nose hit once.
Naru's
I-
hit
Just once with the dagger throw.
okay, those are gone.
What's with
So.
I successfully held Ophelia for like a second. That's something, right?
Bella, in front of you, Nuru, holds up one of her hands, and this, you kind of feel like your hair on the front of your chest and your neck start to stand up on air, and kind of like the feeling of static electricity, and then blue energy begins to crack and snap between her fingers, and she's going to cast a lightning bolt at you.
Oh shit!
So I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh hell yeah!
Can that also somehow also hit me?
That's a confined
I-
space.
It's in a 5-foot line, so unfortunately, it's
If you're standing in front of her, yeah, it would hit.
Well, you were running around as a chicken. You could be anywhere.
Yeah, I'd say
Over your head.
so there's kind of 4.
I'd say it doesn't.
Well, there's like 4 little squares there, and you were running around in a circle as a chicken, and you didn't really specify where you ended. So
I
I'd
assumed
say
I ended
I'd
where
say
I
roll
was.
a d4, and I will tell you what square you're standing in as a chicken.
3.
So you're standing in the square that your token's currently standing in.
Sure.
But a flash of electrical energy blasts out of the witch's hand. So I think you are still going to take half damage on a successful save, which you do. You succeed. So you take half of 28 damage as lightning damage. And this arc of electrical energy just blasts right through your abdomen and blows a hole in the stone wall behind you of the windmill. And you can kind of feel a gust of wind come in through from behind you. So you take 14 damage. And then Bella's sister does the same thing. These kind
Got
of
pooped on by a chicken.
electrical energy starts to crack and snap between her fingers. She lets her hand loose towards you, Nuru, and I need you to make another dex save for me.
Does this one hit me? Because it's a weird angle.
This one will hit you, yeah, for sure.
Yes. Good save.
And you take half of 33 lightning damage, so 16
rolls.
total.
Naru's unconscious.
All right.
That's 30 points. That's 30 points of damage, yeah?
Half because he made her save. He made a save, so
Well, from the first one, too, yeah?
the first
14.
total.
Jeez.
So let's see. Those were 2 lightning bolts.
Nuru has resistance to lightning damage because of my ancestral protectors.
So 15 total then.
Oh, thank God. Good catch, Veen. Good catch.
Oh, thank God.
I just wasn't sure if it was only like the bludgeoning, piercing, and bullshittery. That's not.
Wait. So the Ancestral Garden guards Rimpak and Nuru, or just Rimpak?
Anything that doesn't
Just
hit,
the one directly in front of me.
Would be the one closest, which would be Nuru.
Oh, okay. So
when the target hits a creature other than myself with an attack, I don't know how that would work.
so you take
writing-wise.
14.
Resistance to
You take
damage.
14 still from the first one, Nuru, but then you only take 8 from the second one.
14 plus 8 would be... let me do some quick math.
22.
Okay, wow, Naru has 2 hit points left.
That's more than
better,
enough.
better than being unconscious.
That's
And
too
I'm no longer a chicken.
Yes, and you are no longer a chicken, Veen.
Is that snail thing the chicken for him?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's great, Veen. That's a great catch.
There are a pile of
Super smart.
of blackened feathers at your feet, Veen, as you pop out of being a chicken. And Rimpak, you're up.
All right, so I can't attack Ophelia because I'm scared, right?
You can attack her with disadvantage. You can't willingly move closer to her.
Also, I can't
All
see
right,
'cause
so
the
I'm
wall.
at the-
Is
I'm
she
on this-
within 10 feet of me or 15 feet of me? The one upstairs.
Technically 10 feet.
I just can't see what's square.
Yeah.
So the wounded witch, the one that was stabbed earlier by Nice Snow, she's directly below me, right?
Well, I would say, let's see.
Like from the stairs, like she's like right there.
There's essentially one that would be kind of almost directly below you, yeah.
All right, I want to jump off the stairs and hit her with my mace. How far of a fall is that? It's like what, 5 feet, 6 feet?
It's about 10. It's about 10 feet, yeah.
All right, I will like to exert my damage of falling on top of her as I hit her with my mace.
Okay, sure. So go ahead and make an attack roll.
All right. Go back away from my.
We call that the plate mail special.
Throw my fat ass on top.
It's basically like a steel wall collapsing on somebody's what it is.
So she will take the full force of your weight of your body falling on her. You will still take the falling damage as well, though. So she'll take 5. You'll take 1, and then you'll hit her with your mace for 7. And we'll just say that you end your turn right here in this square.
Would I have knocked her prone by jumping like this?
Make a strength athletics check.
I mean, she's a lady, and I'm falling from several
Yeah, but
feet.
they've got a lot of strength.
You do. She falls prone. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, victory.
So I lost 5 hit points or 6 hit points.
1.
1 hit point. Okay.
Yeah.
She lost 5 from you landing on her.
Nice.
And 7 from your mace. And I assume your turn is complete.
Yes, and as I was jumping, I screamed, "Have at you!" when
Nice.
I'm
Hemdriel.
into this.
So my question is that Hemdriel will try to back up into the doorway regardless.
Uh-huh.
But is there a way to like get rid of that light distortion thing? Because when she's standing in the doorway, she can't see into the building.
Light distortion thing.
Yeah, like where she currently.
Yeah, I got you. There's a barrier on the door.
Yeah. She just wants to be in the doorway, basically firing in that 5-foot square.
Yeah, I can get that out of the way.
There's also one on the stairs while you're at it.
That's
So like the inner edge of the stairs. Are you able to remove that so we can see the other enemy?
No, because that's just a different map.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Well, there's kind of like a technically that's kind of like a stone wall almost. So I just kind of like fudged it. If I remove that, I would have to remove the whole dynamic lighting layer.
Let's do that.
Essentially, yeah.
So nice. Yeah, so nice note backs up into the doorway, and as she does that, she's going to Eldritch Blast the one that's standing up in front of her.
Okay,
The one that isn't knocked prone.
sure. Yeah, your blast of divine energy streaks out. You know, you can kind of see like it burns a few strands of her scraggly dark hair off. And you can see like as the divine energy kind of fades away, you can just see like the little embers of her hair burning and the little bits of smoke streaking up off of her head. But you do miss her.
Yeah, and it looks like her arm just lifting up, and the light is like being pulled out of her arm into a straight beam.
Got anything else for me?
That was my action
All right.
and my movement. So
Before you take this creature's move, at what point would they be within my attack range, since they're kind of upstairs?
As soon as Morgantha takes a step down the stairs, you know, if you are alluding to provoking an opportunity attack, she would do so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's from Sentinel,
So-
correct?
It's from Polar Master, but
Okay,
yeah.
cool. So make your opportunity attack against them.
It was a 5.
Kind of whiffs, and your heavy swing cracks into the stone wall of the windmill just before she makes her way down a few more steps. And then she kind of pounces off of the end of the stairs, just laughing in glee towards you, Hemdriel. And as she does so, she will cast
Ignore that.
a hold person on you. So DC
Wait.
15 Wisdom saving throw, Hemdriel.
okay. Nope.
And you begin to feel all of your will and kind of sap away, and muscles lock into place as she just kind of lightly comes down and caresses your cheek. And she says, "Don't worry, pretty. Soon you will be but nothing more than a pile of bone dust. And you are paralyzed. Veen, you're up. Rimpak, we can't hear you. Rimpak, push to talk.
I'm sorry. At the end of my turn, I didn't do my my saving throw to see if I'm still frightened of Ophelia.
Oh, yeah, please do. And I will give you an inspiration for being honest about that.
Hey, yeah, I'll take it all day long.
She'll make a Constitution saving throw as well first to make sure that. Wait, it was her that cast that on you. So yeah,
She never got hit.
She got. Oh, she never got hit. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So please make your Wisdom save.
Nah. Ooh. I got a +4 on Wisdom, and I haven't rolled higher than like 15.
As soon as you land down on one of the sisters, and you see Morgantha leap down the stairs again at Hemdriel, your mind gets racked with pain just at the pure sight of her again, and you take 28 psychic damage.
Ooh, okay. Okay. I'm at 6 hit points.
Veen, you're up.
Okay, well, same target now that it's downed, I guess.
I'll say that the
So-
Mardukov. I'll say that the Mardukovs sent you on your way with 2 healing potions as well, Rimpak.
Okay, those are D8s then.
2d4 plus 2s.
2d4 plus. Oh, hey, even better.
So yeah, I'm going to attack my same enemy that is now prone, so advantage, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I can't.
15.
I can't remember what the snail on your guy is for. You're not
That's
affected
gone.
by the.
It was polymorph.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
Just put a snail on my guy as forever.
A 15 is a miss.
Okay.
So you bring your
I'm
pole
going
arm
to-
down and you just crack right between her kind of legs as just at the very last minute she kind of spreads them wide open and she says, "Ah, so you did come to get a little bit more than a rest."
And with that, I'm going to smack her with the blunt end of my pole.
No, you didn't. Saucy old witch.
10 is definitely a hit though, and she you crack her right in her jaw. And she says, "Oh, I like it when you play rough with me."
Can I make a perception check to see how much life is left in these creatures? Because, like, I've dealt a fuck ton of damage to this one, and like,
Sure.
Seem to like it.
Bloodied is less than half their total, right?
I think bloodied, yeah, and in rough shape is like 1/4.
You think that you know you've hit her pretty hard quite a few times. You think that just looking between her sister and the mother, she's probably got maybe a third of her life left.
oh, we're fucked. I end my turn.
Nuru, you're up.
Nuru. Sorry, I'm just processing all this.
We are in a heap of shit. Save us.
So what did So it was this one that made that comment to Veen, correct?
The one directly in front of his token, yes.
Nuru was stabbed. We'll walk up, and instead of stabbing Bella, he will stab at
Can't
this
move
other.
closer to your enemy. You can't move closer.
Oh, yeah, he got rid of the effect.
Ah, okay, my bad.
And he
That's-
was stabbed at whatever her name is.
17 is a hit.
And sneak attack.
You also would have advantage, so maybe you crit. Who knows? Because it's still
Oh.
prone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can roll it again
So-
just in case. So close.
Oh, okay.
So 16 total damage.
And Nuru will disengage.
You know, you
Thanks.
drive your blade like right at the base of her neck, right by her collarbone. You just stick your short sword all the way into the hilt, and you pull it out, and it's just dripping with this thick black, goopy liquid. And in kind of a gurgled voice, she says, "You're really going to regret that."
I told you he's my husband.
I would like to illustrate the pain noise of
Yeah, and then you see Hemdriel vomiting on the porch.
no. Currently she's frozen in place, so she's vomiting. It's projectile.
Yeah. Bella, the other one. She says, "All right, well, this has gone on long enough," and she casts sleep on the room.
shit. What's the save on sleep?
It'll be a.
It's a health-based thing.
There
Yeah.
is no thing.
It'll be.
Oh,
Well, Naruto's gonna go to sleep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go sleep too. I only have 6 hit points left.
Let's see. Well, it starts with the highest hit points total.
No, it starts with the lowest.
Oh, really? Okay.
Wait.
I'll double
That's-
check, but pretty sure it starts with the lowest.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
In order of their current hit points, are affected in ascending order. In order of their current hit points. Yeah.
They're going up. Yeah.
Starting with the
So
creature.
two. Who has? Everyone say your hit point totals.
2.
6.
35.
42.
Nuru, you're asleep. Rimpak, you're asleep.
I want to sleep on top of the witch I fell upon.
Yeah.
So she has to wait another turn before she can move. 'cause already prone?
She's still prone, yeah, so you kind of your eyes grow heavy and you topple right on top of her.
There we go.
Does that one also fall asleep?
No, because she doesn't target her sister.
Does it hit everything?
Well,
Isn't it just the melee?
let's see. 5d8
I'm hoping it is.
creatures hit points of creatures this spell can affect. Creatures within 20 feet of the point you choose within range are affected in ascending order. So let's see. She's 6 and 2 is 8, and then she has a certain
15.
number of hit points left. So she doesn't have she still has more than what would be left to affect her. So
Yeah.
she remains awake, and you remain awake. But you see Nuru and Rimpak kind of crumple to the floor and begin to snore.
Also, just a reminder, I don't think Faye can be magically put to sleep.
No one here is Faye.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's Fae.
Oh, I thought you were... Okay. I thought you were talking about the hag. Just...
Well, the
Oh, my daughter's name is Faye.
with Rimpak toppled on top of her, Ophelia goes. You can like hear her taking a big whiff of him as he's like passed out on top of her, and she goes, "Oh, it's going to be so sweet." And then she kind of reaches her hand out toward and grabs your ankle, Veen, and casts a ray of sickness on you. So I think that's going to be a DC 15 con save.
Let me know.
Oh man, that spell's not in the compendium. So she will do Ray of Enfeeblement instead. It is a strength save, DC 15 strength save.
I get advantage because I'm raging.
I was infuriated that modules you buy don't have the spells in the compendium. It's like, what the... It's like, why? It's like, why? Just put it in there.
It's basically a pay for effort thing, but at least the basic stuff should be in there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So you're fine, and Ophelia, just in pure joy of having a man upon her, remains prone.
Raven's Enfeeblement is also an attack roll.
And if you were awake, you might feel like a hand trying to reach down your britches there, Impact. But
Good thing I'm asleep for that.
yeah. But you
Raven's
are.
Enfeeblement is also an attack roll.
But it is your turn. So there's kind of a lot going on in here. Why don't you make a perception check to see if you kind of wake up from your magically induced sleep here.
Okay.
A little toad, wet toad, lands on your face, and
Alright, let's see. Come on, perception. Why do I roll so bad? Roll 20!
That's okay. You kind of groggily open your eyes, and you're kind of face to face with one of these hags, but you do feel like a hand down your pants, searching around.
And the worst part is, it's probably like a nasty hand.
Oh
too.
yeah, like there's some sharp nails just kind of digging in into
And there's just dirt
digging
being
in
moved around.
digging into parts unknown
No.
below there. Yeah.
Rimpak as a cleric is absolutely horrified at this. Is it my turn?
Yeah, you can take it. Yeah, you can take your turn. Yeah.
All right. I want to lift my mace up and slam it into the hag's face I'm on top of.
Yeah.
Did she ever stand up as well, or did she just?
No,
mostly
she
lay
was
down,
just
yes?
she was just basking in the weight of a man upon her. Yes. Which,
She was
yeah,
Alright.
yeah.
I raise my morning star and I bring it down.
She's
Come
trying to get
on.
trying to get something going here, you know.
Jeez.
5 feet.
Yeah,
Right
but
on top of her, and I
at the last second, Rimpak, you kind of feel a sharp tug down there, and your mace just goes crack right into the stone wall of the steps.
Strength saving.
16 isn't enough.
Strength saving throw to remove her hand.
Well,
from
he was
that's
hitting with his morning star. Yeah, he was hitting with his morning
So
star.
16 isn't enough to hit. We really are fucked.
Wait, 16? Because wouldn't it be with advantage?
Well, they're both prone.
I'm on top. Well, I am on
They're
top of her.
they're both prone, so I was just kind of counting it a normal attack, but no, 16 is not enough,
enough.
either way.
Oh, fair enough. Then. Holy, wow. Holy man.
So you can try and stand up now, also, if you'd like.
Yeah, I would like this, like to stand up,
Okay.
get her hand out of my pants,
Yeah.
and again shield up, you know, turtle up like
She
I'm
says,
ready.
"Oh, please, leaving,
It's an action to
leaving,
remove a hand from the
leaving
hand.
so soon, big boy."
I go, be gone, fuck."
Wait, it's Nice Snow's turn after him.
Oh, did I skip you? I'm sorry, Nice No.
No problem.
I got a little excited as a hag, you know.
By a witch.
It's always fun to be the DM messing with people. But what saving throw do I need in order to exit the whole person?
Rich, welcome to Curse of Strahd.
This is great.
So sorry. Go ahead, Hemdriel. Make a wisdom saving throw for me at the end of your turn.
Sorry, that wasn't a wisdom save.
It looked like it to me.
There
there you
you
go.
go.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you are
I
no longer.
thought
You kind of, you know, you're the vomit that kind of got stuck in your throat as you saw the situation just unfold before you now springs forth out of your mouth as you are no longer paralyzed. You cover Morgantha in Hemdriel in celestial vomit, and your turn is over though, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's cleaner than the average vomit.
Yeah. It sparkles a bit, you know.
Glitter vomit.
Yeah.
I know I can continue.
Glitter vomit is the worst thing ever. The worst disease.
For
Next I play-
anyone watching, hashtag hand jobs for hags.
Glitter vomit is the next name of a disease on Plague Incorporated, by the way.
So, Hemdriel, I need you to make a DC 15 wisdom saving throw for me.
Hemdriel?
Yeah.
Wisdom
being held
save?
personed again.
Wisdom save, you said? Or
Yeah,
wisdom check?
wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Oh!
So you
I see
see,
a vomit.
Morgantha, the mother hag's, one of her eyes, you know, they're kind of, they all have these beady little dark eyes, but they, you know, have white pupils and stuff like that, and you see one of the orbs of her left eye just totally turn black. The whole eye goes a deep black, and you drop down to the ground and fall asleep.
Okay.
Veen, you're up.
I'm going to attack the downed enemy in hopes of making it 2-on-4 instead of 3-on-4.
Do you know what that spell is, Steven?
I bite, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I've read a lot of spells.
That's a good call.
Pulse smack for 6.
That was the bonus action.
Oh, okay. Well, it hits for sure. 26 hits as well. 16 total damage at the one in front of you, Ophelia. Correct?
Yep, same one.
You smack her with the blunt end of your pole and then bring it around and slice down the front of her. Another big gash just opens right up across her chest. She starts like heavily breathing, but even still, she strokes the shaft of your glaive as you're drawing it away, like lightly as with her hand, and she says, "Oh, it's so unfortunate that you didn't want to play nice." Nuru, you're up.
Nuru is going to leap forward once more. He will hiss, and he will...
You're asleep.
Oh, wait, shit, he's asleep.
You can make a perception check, though, to see if you wake up.
Yeah, frog jumps on your face, right?
10 is just enough. Kind of, yeah, groggily, as Veen is kind of striking the hag with his glaive and then bringing it down to slash across her, he kind of bumps you with his boot and jostles you out of your sleep. You look up and you see one of the hags still on the floor, but you see that Hemdriel has also fallen to the floor, the mother hag, with one dark orb for an eye kind of looming over her, and then the other sister's still there as well.
Nuru takes a moment to... He takes a moment to consider the situation, and he's going to go for the hag on the floor once more in the hope, like in the similar hopes that Veen had, of finally evening this fight out.
Stab the hag on the floor?
Yeah.
Cool. Do so
He's
with
taking an
advantage.
attack of opportunity.
They are still prone. So your attack will still have an advantage.
Would he have taken an attack of opportunity from the enemy?
From which enemy?
The
Nuru?
mother.
Nuru?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, he did disengage after his last attack.
Well, you're not even within 5 feet of Morgantha, though.
He
He
was.
was.
Oh, were you? Oh. Well, if you cunning action disengage, then no, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
26 is a hit. 26 is a hit. For 16 total damage. How do you kill the sister?
Nice.
About time.
She will... I mean, she got him. She will die with Naru's sword stabbing through her heart.
Nice.
Clean. I like it.
Yep. You grab,
I said it's fine.
lean down and grab the witch's tattered robes. Drive your short sword slowly and surely into the hag's heart and twist the blade as it makes its way all the way down to its hilt. You can see her take as she begins to fall back off your blade before the life leaves her eyes. She looks back up at you, Rimpak, and meets your gaze, and then she looks down at your crotch and winks, and then she falls down dead.
I'm oddly flattered by that.
Even when she was about to die, he complimented you.
And as can Naru make it out of the... So he has 25 feet of movement, yeah, less. So he could go to about here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to do that and disengage.
Okay. Well, you already disengaged against the hag.
Oh, right. Ah.
Where's that hole busted into the wall of the windmill?
That's an excellent point.
Right there?
Yeah.
Okay, good enough.
You could jump through the hole if you'd like. It's big enough. But you'd still take an attack of opportunity from Bella.
Shit. try. Would I be able to have him not? No, God. Because, I mean, he would be aware of that, even though I forgot. Would he be aware of that, even though I forgot?
I mean, I'm not. That's up to you. I'm not gonna punish you because you wouldn't remember a mechanic. Someone reminded you quickly enough. I think
Yeah.
I reminded you quickly enough. So yeah, I mean, that's up to you. If you want to, if you want to say that your character was so focused on finishing off the other sister and you just totally forget about that, like that's fine.
Okay, yeah, then, because Nuru definitely would not have forgotten about that,
Okay.
even though I was a dumb fucking kid.
What's up, Rimpak? You look like you want to say something.
No, if you don't, no. I was just thinking,
Oh,
if
okay.
you want to, get behind me, that's fine. Rather than try to leave, if you're gonna get hit, trying to leave.
Well, you're kind of backed into a corner, so Nuru could move over beside you for sure, but it's a pretty tight little room in here.
It's kind of my forte to take one for the team.
Yeah.
I definitely.
You call
would
you
provide
call
cover.
out you call out to Nuru to say come towards me?
And doing that would not.
Nope, because
And
you
so-
can still kind of remain
Yeah,
next to the creature. Yeah.
there.
Mhm.
I think that's as close as Nuru can get.
Sure.
Cool.
As Bella sees you strike her sister down, her beloved sister, as you move towards Rimpak, she will strike out at you with her claws. But she swipes and just misses as you step towards Rimpak. And I think that's Bella's turn. Rimpak, you're up.
All right. I am thinking about this as my next move. The one that's right next to me, I'm having much luck hitting them with anything. I would like to. I don't know. It almost seems like almost like a waste against these ladies. I think. I want to go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna hit. I want to cast. I'm gonna hit Bella. I'm gonna hit Bella with
Okay.
my man.
Sure.
Come on, Morningstar. Let's do it. Hit.
22's a hit.
Hey,
Yes.
Now just because I've played a war cleric before, and maybe you're just not aren't remembering that you can do this, but a war cleric, I think, at 4th level can attack a second time up to a number of times to their wisdom modifier.
Oh.
I get that at first or second level.
I didn't realize. I've never played a war cleric. I always played like Roby clerics before.
So you could try and hit him again if you like.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, your channel divinity can be used to give you a +10 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's like an action though, right? For channel divinity.
No, I think channel divinity is a bonus
it's included
action.
in an
yeah.
attack.
Yeah.
I think it's included with the attack.
It says here for War Priest, you can use whenever you use the attack action, you can make another weapon attack as a bonus action.
Yep.
With a different weapon.
With the same weapon, up to a number of times to your wisdom modifier, I believe.
My wisdom modifier is 4.
So you could do it
So you
4
can do it
times
4
per day.
times
4
per
times
rest.
per day. Yeah, 4 times per rest.
Okay, so I'm gonna do it again.
So
Well,
22
roll the
and
damage first.
22 and 18 both hit. So 2 hard strikes with your mace
I'll get the damage from. Let's see.
at the sister's back. 12 total damage.
All right.
Got anything else?
I would like to lift my shield and try to make sure Naru's kind of like behind me.
Okay, sure. Hemdriel, I'll let you try and make a perception check to see if you wake up, but your check will be higher because she used her only 6th level spell slot against you for eye bite. It's a lot stronger than a sleep spell.
I will actually say that Hemdriel won't even wake up. The eye bite triggers something in her, and her wings actually retract back into her body.
Mm-hmm.
She starts reliving parts of her past unpleasant
Okay.
due to the eye bite.
Then you can also make a wisdom save at the end of your turn as well to wake up instead.
Okay.
Do you have any memory flash for us?
Yeah, so she is remembering a moment back in one of the battles where she got smacked in the face by a spell that sucked life out of her.
Mm-hmm.
And she remembers it was one of the first time that she felt really helpless, and she collapsed to the ground. And as she's on her knees, Strahd is walking closer towards her. And she feels a sense of dread for one of the first times in her life. And that's the flashback.
And just to go kind of a little bit along with that, in that flashback, actually, the Valley of Barovia, in that flashback, it was kind of like a bright sunny day. There was no mist. There was no fog. But you do wake up at the end of that flash with your wings kind of crumbling and disappearing.
Yeah, they're just receding back into her.
Yeah, I would, or even almost with the magic of the hags kind of affecting this place, they almost crumble into more bone dust and cover the floor around you.
Angel dust. By the way, just making a joke. But yeah, so she wakes up, but she wakes up very slowly out of this. So that's her turn.
Can I request that we take a quick break?
Yeah, I mean, we did kind of power through. Normally, we'd take a break halfway through, but we're like well past the halfway point at this point. So,
I'm cool for a break.
essentially, yeah, at the top of the round, we're at the top of the round, so that's a good spot. So 5-minute break, and we'll come back and we'll finish out episode 7 of Curse of Strahd.
I'm having a lot of fun. You guys are great, by the way. FYI.
Awesome, yeah, we're glad to have you.
Yeah, I need to get something for my snake.
Yeah, no worries. 5-minute break, and we'll come back and finish out our Thursday night game here.
Will we be recording through the break or no?
I can stop the recording. Sure.
You guys are a lot of fun. Like